So here is the first look at a game I am creating, inspired by other games that I've played, such as old school RuneScape, um, Ark Survival, Icarus, with hints of anime from Sword Art Online, Is It Wrong to Pick Up Chicks in a Dungeon, and maybe a hint of solo leveling. I have an intro to this game. I will read that for you now. Long ago, the city of Arden was built by a king who said the location brought great power to the city. It was built backed up to a mountain surrounded by a forest. Hundreds of years later, during a harvest festival, a thunderous storm appeared and lightning struck the mountain, fracturing the face. Behind that fracture was a large door, taller than a house. King Vargoth tasked a researcher by the name of Tregor to study the door and to learn anything he could from it. Something from behind the door began to corrupt Tregor, making him mad. The darkness spoke to him, telling him how to open the door. Tregor approached the king with a proposal to form a party to locate the keys needed to unlock it. King Vargoth refused and instead formed his own party, a party of 5 great heroes from 5 different cities. Zeke, a warrior from the desert city Razal to the south, unmatched with a sword and shield. Trista, a genius among magic users, from the snowy region of Brimbal to the north. Gracie of the eastern lake city Caldaria, a talented healer known for healing wounds thought to be fatal. Clifton from the western mountain city Drillendor, a monster of a man wielding a 2-handed warhammer. And finally Langston, a local of Arden itself, lightning quick with a blade and precise with a bow, well known for his abilities as a hunter, bringing down the deadliest predators. These 5 great heroes were tasked with protecting the door from opening. They worked closely with Grotto, the captain of the city guard and right hand to the king. 1 year after the door was discovered, the yearly harvest festival was underway. Grotto relieved the heroes with a few guards so that they could enjoy the festivities. Upon returning to the door, the heroes were shocked to see the guards had been killed and Tregor had returned. He stood by the door, thinner and more pale than before, with long, thinning hair. He looked to have green eyes from under his cloak as he glanced towards the heroes, before raising his arm, summoning a horde of undead from beneath their feet. The heroes immediately began to combat the undead, while Tregor pulled out 2 large crystals from inside his cloak. One a dark, ominous purple, and the other a vibrant green. He placed the crystals into the door. The door lit up as if consumed with power. The sound of thunderous locks being released echoed in the courtyard, and the doors began to swing open. Tregor entered the dungeon without even a glance back. The heroes shortly after dispatched the final monsters and then yelled to some guards that had just arrived after hearing the door open. "Tell the king what you have witnessed," Zeke said, and then the party of heroes plunged into the darkness of the door. Shortly thereafter, the doors closed behind them, and that was the last anyone saw of the 5 great heroes. It was a full month that the doors stayed closed. Then, out of nowhere, without warning, they opened again. Out of the dungeon poured hundreds of monsters. There were goblins, ogre, minotaurs, spiders, skeletons, slime, lizard men, a hydra, and more. Closely behind was Tregor, a shell of the man he used to be, skin and bone, with recessed pale green eyes, with his dark cloak wielding an ominous staff. The city was forced to evacuate while the guard did their best to buy time. They moved to the shrine of the goddess south of the city. It was there they begged the goddess, Safrina, to help them, to do anything. They placed their most valuable possessions at the foot of her shrine. The goddess answered and began to send heroes. So that is the opening to my game. Let me know what y'all think. If you're interested, like, subscribe, and follow for more.